Peace and pleasure, royal family. So now we are on the first eye chakra. So I didn't make any videos while I was on focus on the throat chakra because I did a 2-day speaking fast. 2 days, absolutely no talking to help balance the energy center that is for expression, verbal expression, creative expression, emotional expression. You're gonna be a little cricket, but that's okay. Ain't nothing in life straight. Ain't nothing in nature truly straight. I love every time I do this fast, no matter how many chakras I focus on, it is everything that I need it to be. Everything is always what we need it to be. You know, through the challenging, through the pleasurable, through the pain, through the everything is always as it should be. Everything that happens was supposed to happen, is supposed to happen. And everything that happens for a reason. So it is day 12. Gotta be day 12. Because I'm on the 6th chakra. I'm on day 2 of, so day 12. So I had like a slow start yesterday. It was very much a day of unity, community, coming into unity. And it was beautiful. And it was so needed because I have been transmuting energy and feelings of anxiety with the previous drama, turmoil, implosion that was going on around the time of my focusing on my heart chakra. And so I've been dealing with anxiety, transmuting past trauma of betrayal and unstable housing that I was in survival mode for a few days. And I finally took the time to tap in. Like, I knew that I was feeling off, but I'm like, oh, let me just release it. But like, the thing about some emotions, sometimes it's not about releasing it, like just letting it go. Sometimes it's called to transmute it, to alchemize it, which is a difference. It's similar, but it's different. It's different energy. When you are addressing old wounds and they're being triggered in the present, you can't just release it because it's something that's like deeply embedded in your energetic body, you know. So just releasing it, it's like weeds. You can't just like rip a weed out the ground and leave the roots. You gotta be intentional, you know. Go to the base of the stem and pull the whole root out so you know that it doesn't regrow. You feel me? So it's the same with old wounds. You have to go deep at the base and pull the root issue out and transmute the limiting beliefs, the emotions, the perspective, the feelings, everything that is associated with that old feeling. You have to transmute it. And so things, when you are in the process of transmuting old shit, it comes up, it resurfaces in order to let it go. You know, it got to come out in order to, you know, release or transmute it. So that's what was happening. You know, we are all mirrors, we are all each other, so we are always mirroring back what we think, what we believe, what we need in order to grow within this journey called life. So there was a implosion, there was a conflict, not even a conflict, can't even, because two people got to be in it for it to be a conflict, and I was not in it. but there was some tension or whatever that came up, yeah, that forced me to address some old wounds that were still within my energetic body, surrounding loyalty, surrounding honesty, surrounding trust and stability. And so I had to face those old wounds. And I had to ask myself what I needed and to give myself that, or to ask for help. So the days that I was focusing on my throat chakra were those days that the anxiety, I was transmuting through the anxiety that I had already been feeling when I was focused on my heart chakra. And so those 2 days on my throat chakra, I was in silence. I didn't listen to music. I didn't talk. I was a little bit more to myself. And I realized I was feeling anxiety. So I was like, doing some yoga that helped to move stagnant energy of anxiety and things like that. And I felt good throughout the day. But then the beliefs, the thoughts, and the fears were still there, influencing certain decisions of mine. And then those decisions fed into the anxiety. And so the anxiety came back. And, these past few weeks, past like 3 weeks, it's really been about me just going out into the woods in silence and meditating with, nature and my guides, and sitting still and listening and observing, feeling, and things like that. But then in that moment where the anxiety was arising and I was starting to feel irritable and frustrated and overstimulated, I had to realize, for one, I didn't have I reached my capacity. It's like, especially when you're somebody who other people go to for different things, to talk to vent, to feel your energy, your good energy, and you're constantly giving to other people in one way or another, you have to recognize when you've reached your capacity and when you can no longer give to others and when you need to give to yourself. So as somebody who is a giver, I always have to make sure my cup is full before it can overflow into somebody else's cup. If I'm not full, then that's when you become irritable and frustrated and short-tempered and impatient, and you're not at your best self to give to somebody else. And then you're doing both of you a disservice, you and the other person a disservice, because then you can't meet them as your better self, as your best self. So I stood in my accountability for myself. I stood on my boundaries, and I wasn't talking that day, but I communicated in the way that I could, that like I had to, that's it. I had a little notebook that I was like writing on for those few days. I took the opportunity to kind of like go to myself, and I grabbed my journal and I journaled what I was feeling, and taking that time to really identify what I needed in that moment. I know I just needed a hug. I needed to connect with somebody heart to heart, to know that I was seen and that I was valued and that I was accepted. Because, you also have to know who, you have to know the when, where, what, how, who, why, when, where, all the details. Because even though, yeah, I knew I needed a hug, but I'm like, okay, a hug from this person wouldn't do the same thing as a hug from this person would do. Connecting with this person is really what I need. So I'm gonna go to this person. And so just laying on a futon and just watching this kids movie, just in the same presence. And then after the movie was done and I left and I was leaving, I asked him for a hug. Like that was that helped so much. It was so simple, but it helped so much. And ever since then, like that really helped me transmute the energy, and I haven't been feeling anxious yet. I've been feeling so grounded ever since then, and that was 2 days ago. So I've been feeling so grounded ever since then, where those fears and the insecurities from past wounds of being discarded by people who did not have the capacity to accept my fullness, I was able to transmute and to release those fears and insecurities and to reground myself with the help of community. A few different things have made me realize, first eye intuition, seeing and perceiving, listening to people and how they interact with me have been giving me so many answers that I've been looking for about myself, about my purpose, and about my journey. So, self-care package, Landrill. If you don't know, watch my other videos. So you have no higher purpose in this life than to know the self. You are not the body. You are not your possessions. You are not your profession. You are not even your personality. You are the changeless reality that allows the expression of all these things. The self is the pure consciousness that is witnessing the changes of this cosmic play. The self is the play, the players, and the act of playing. The self is all and in all, and all is in the self. So, I have focused on my first chakra, my first eye chakra, before, but not with this book. I have found a course online through this yoga institution, activating intuition, activating your first eye, and which did wonders. I did that back in like August, September of 2023, and it has done wonders on the trajectory of tapping in, tuning in, and familiarizing myself with the voice of my intuition. Ooh, yeah, like really open the door to psychic abilities, to clairvoyance, clear cognizance, and the other clairs are just following. Dreams have been prophetic and so yeah. So the first eye is, of course, seeing beyond the physical, seeing within, underneath, within and without the physical, seeing all around from all the different perspectives. But it's also seeing yourself, and seeing yourself within everything, and seeing everything in yourself, the reflection of everything. Like, we are trees, we are roots, we are rooted, we are love, because everything is everything, and we are everything, and everything is us. And that is the energy and the message and the theme of the first eye. And so even that ties into a theme with the heart chakra of compassion for self and for others, grace and forgiveness. And so when you can see yourself in someone else, it's so much easier to give them forgiveness. When you can see that you've been that person, you've been that hurt person, you've been that angry person, you've been that spiteful person before, and you could easily be that again, because we are everything. Everything is within us. It's just in our power and mastery that we can choose through consciousness to be light and loving and kindness. And not that there's no room for anger and frustration. There's always room for that. But choosing not to stay in that, because you create what you are, you know? But when somebody betrays you or lies on you or breaks your trust or they violate your boundaries of the relationship in one way, shape, or form, yes, you can be angry. Yes, you can identify, okay, this person can't be trusted with X, Y, and Z. But it doesn't mean that you have to treat them with any disdain, any ill intention, any hate, any harmfulness. You can still treat them as a human being, as their potential, as, you know, you can still speak to their higher self and still know that you have boundaries with them. You know, still know that they aren't currently at the capacity to have certain privileges with you, but they are still a person to be loved and to be respected. Seeing yourself in other people, in every person, helps to empathize, helps to give compassion and forgiveness. It helps to love. And it takes so much burden off of you. Like, when you can just treat everybody with love and kindness, but know how far to let people in. I said that in a previous video. Your eyes perceive what the mind conceives. I like that. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before. Nothing is mine anyway. No thought, no idea, no quote, no phrase, whatever. You know, we all are tapped into the same consciousness, the same cloud of thoughts and ideas. So nobody is really the owner of any thoughts or idea. But yeah, the eye perceives what the mind conceives. You know, like lately, the past few months, I really be thinking, like, I wonder what you look at, somebody else could look at that same space or that same object and literally process it and see it differently, whether it's a different color or different shading or shadows, different expression of that thing. We all process things based on our capacity to think and to process, which is based on your beliefs of the world, of everything around you, of yourself. It's based on your open-mindedness or your closed-mindedness. So yeah, I feel like that's the message. The Agya Chakra is blessed with the vision to see beyond the illusion of matter and perceive the glory of spirit within and beyond creation. Generally, we all have two eyes, the eyes of duality, in which we perceive good and bad, right and wrong, friends and foes, pain and pleasure. This perceived duality is the cause of bondage, ignorance, and suffering. When the first eye chakra is activated and opened by consistent and deep meditation, the ignorance of duality is dissolved and we see the world with a single eye. Harmony, unity, and oneness amidst the apparent duality of the world are thus cultivated. The first eye, also known as the Christ center, is the single eye that Christ spoke of when he said, "The light of the body is within the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." The brow chakra, when activated, grants us powers such as clairvoyance, mental equanimity, discernment, control over adverse situations, and supreme control over the lower nature. So really quick, when it's open and balanced, you may experience or feel inner peace, inner love, attentiveness, imaginative, discernment, clairvoyance, open mindedness, extreme calmness, heightened intuition, and complete self control. When this chakra is blocked or imbalanced, you may experience or feel anxiety, insomnia, depression, hallucinations, fear, poor judgment, paranoia, extreme skepticism, difficulty concentrating, and physical symptoms can manifest as migraines, sinusitis, seizures, poor vision, and sciatica. So I'll leave y'all with the affirmation, and that's the message. I see myself as a radiant light of love, peace, and wisdom. I know myself to be a reflection of all that I see. Also, a little shameless plug for the author, because I might as well, since I'm using his book for my videos. He has a album called Self-Care Package that goes with this book, and each song is focused on each chakra: root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, brow, crown. So check it out, Landrell Self-Care Package, the book and the album. I guess I'll give y'all this exercise. I might as well. Sadhana. So the exercise is: notice your immediate surroundings and the things that you see. In what ways do they describe who you are? Can you see yourself in these things? Spend a few moments reflecting and journal your thoughts. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for checking in. I trust that those who are ready to receive a message within these words and expressions will receive the message. And until next time, peace and pleasure, royal family. Ali Nicole, the sacred goddess. God is energy. Is out.